right. Happy New Year, my sporties. I've missed you so much. And we're actually recording this week because last time we tried to and I messed it up. And so that's my fault that you haven't heard from us in 2 weeks. So I apologize, but I'm also looking at a half empty glass of wine. So that means one thing, you're here for another episode of Sports Talk with a Queer Twist and the first 2025 edition. And I'm really excited. Of course, I'm Kenny Ray. I'm here with my local lesbian lover and other half, Afton. How you doing, girl? How was your New Year's?
It was good. 2025 better not be with the bullshits. So I'm ready.
And I sip.
Yes. I mean, we're the third date in. It can only get better from here.
That's it.
But no, it was good. Spent some time off with the family and just rested, really.
Well, that's good. That's important.
Yes,
That
for
is
sure.
important. That's nice. I had a good amount of rest as well. I went to Daytona Beach. It was so nice to be by the water, and the weather was nice. So that worked out really well. So I enjoyed that, and just spent the New Year's Eve like with some friends of mine, my little Atlanta tribe, as I like to call them, my nieces. Uh, so it was good to bring in the new year with them. And yeah, so and yeah, back to work, back to grind. Excited about 2025 because yeah, 2024 did bring some shits. It did.
Yeah, I did. It was
It
like we're gonna go out with a bang, you know what I mean?
yeah. Like it was a difficult year for me, but one that that marked a lot of growth. Um, to a lot of our loyal listeners would know that, like, yeah, I had a cancer diagnosis 2024, had surgery. At this point, seemingly cancer free, feeling good. Um, Another horrible breakup, but this one will probably, yeah, this one's likely going to stick. Um, but it's not reactionary, and there's no bad blood, at least for me.
Correct. Hmm.
It's just a part of the evolution and growth that was kind of jet fueled by having cancer. It has a
Yeah.
tendency to do that.
Yeah.
You start to really look at things, you learn boundaries, and you learn things about yourself. So let's take all that into 2025 and make it a good ass year. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I stayed home for New Year's.
Mhm.
So all I heard was sirens, gunshots, helicopters.
That
I
sounds
was
about
like,
right.
I was like Atlanta wildin',
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
huh?
That sounds about right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Especially like back in the old days, like when I lived in the hood growing up, and good God, you think it was goddamn Fallujah out there? It's
Doing
like
the
it's
most.
like Happy New Year. What's up? Let's go to war. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, like yeah. And that shit used to scare me to death because like what goes up must come down. I don't know why people don't like think about that.
At all. Like, where do you think this is gonna go? It's gonna
Yeah,
hit
it
somebody's
doesn't just go.
car. It's gonna.
Yeah, it doesn't keep going forever. Like the shit comes down at some point. Like yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So
Yeah, but I mean, it was cool just to bring in the new year and reflect on my last year, 2024, and what can I, do better personally, and professionally.
yeah,
So, yeah.
which sounds
It's-
lovely. Like
yeah.
to bring in the new year in a place of peace,
Yes, exactly.
and not going to the new year in chaos and going to the new year like feeling refreshed and whatnot. That sounds nice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Can't complain about that. So, we're here and let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. There's plenty to talk about, John. Yeah.
Listen.
So I know I sent you the note earlier, but I was thinking
Hmm.
that I like to change the first segment from Baby Daddies to You Got the Nerve. And that stands for You Got the Nerve to Be Fine.
Exactly.
Because I don't want it to be gendered anymore.
Okay.
I like to I liked when you threw in like, women or whatever. I like that better.
Okay.
Because I think Baby Daddy seems a bit pigeonholed. And it's also it's fun, like, just to tell somebody, and you got the nerve to be fine. I love
Yeah.
that. Like, yeah, you got the nerve to be fine. Like, to walk up in here looking like that. That's fun.
Okay,
So,
with that being said, I do got some mix up for you, so we'll do that here in a second.
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then we'll do that. And of course, The Truth Fairy's got some shit to drop on you bitches as usual.
Uh,
I got some shit to admit where I was wrong, which
oh,
I do. As much
okay.
as I pat myself on the back when I'm right, because I write more often than not. But I will admit when I'm wrong. After ask in lieu of any listener questions, and we're looking forward to this first weekend of the year. So what you got for me, and you got the nerve.
Okay, so I'm gonna rewind it back since we are recording the other week, but it's Golden Globes, but I'm gonna give you a mix of women and men. So
Okay, cute. Okay,
so actually, Selena Gomez is
okay.
nominated for her role in Amelia Perez, which is on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet, but it looks
I
like
have not watched
very,
that.
yeah, it
Hmm.
looks very interesting. But Selena Gomez, like from her coming up from Disney to now, like,
Yeah, well, them Disney kids it's a pipeline because Britney and Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Christina
mm-hmm.
Aguilera, like Disney kids. Yeah,
Wow.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
but for going from Disney to being nominated to a Golden Globe is definitely a step up because usually they fade
yeah.
off.
Most of them, yes, very true.
Yes,
Most of
yes.
is it isn't Zendaya a Disney
Nominated.
kid?
I think she is nominated and a Disney kid. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Hmm.
I'm not sure about her, but I think she's
Okay.
one of them too. But anyways, go ahead.
So that's one. Selena Gomez. Zoe Saldana.
Mhm.
She's in that same movie.
Oh,
Now
I'm gonna have
she
to watch this.
yes, and she hasn't aged whatsoever. She looks the same as like back in the 90s.
I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but like this Illuminati, there might be something to it. Because
I
as
think.
I start getting up in age, and people
Hmm.
start telling me like, "Oh, this person is 50, 60 years old, blah blah blah, whatever," and like they look significantly younger than me. Because it's
Exactly.
different when I'm young and they look young. It's like, oh yeah, yeah. Now it's like, okay, what the fuck? What secret sauce am I missing? Like, do I need to go find a child to sacrifice or something? Just let me know.
Just need a drop of baby's blood. Thank you.
Yeah. Do I need to go raid an orphanage in Russia or something like that? Let me know. You gotta do what you gotta
too
do.
too funny.
Mhm.
All right, and then my last one is Hugh Grant. He plays Wolverine. He's actually in a new movie called Heretic. He doesn't look.
Hugh Jackman.
Is it Hugh Jackman or Hugh Grant?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Hugh Jackman.
There's a
Yes.
big difference between
Yes.
Hugh
Well, which one do you think is better, Grant or Jackman?
Absolutely Jackman.
Okay.
Hugh Grant is that weird fidgety English guy like
Oh, with blue eyes.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah, definitely Hugh Jackman.
Because when you said I was like, okay, where are you going with this one?
Listen, I got the two Hughes mixed up, and they're totally opposite. Yes.
No, yeah, big time, right? Big time. Hugh Grant, I don't know of any, but I'm pretty sure he's not in any movies with his shirt off.
No, probably not. No. I think we're safe on that one.
Okay, so I'm curious because I don't because Selena Gomez still strikes me as like she's like she's young, so I don't really
Hmm.
see like attractiveness in her.
I got
Like
you.
she's too young. She still looks like a baby to me.
Yeah,
So
she
like
like
yeah,
somebody niece. She like somebody
yeah,
niece.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's perfect. She gives me auntie energy. Like I feel like
Yes.
okay, oh, you look so cute, baby. That dress is so cute. You better go. It gives me that.
Okay.
It doesn't give me like yes, you look sick. Like it doesn't give me that.
Yeah.
Like so, But she is beautiful. She is a beautiful girl. She is.
Yes.
But Zoe, yeah, absolutely. Like
Yeah, that's a
like
bad bitch right there.
that badass bitch, bad bitch. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then we corrected it's Hugh Jackman, not Grant.
Oh, I knew for a fact. I knew for a fact. I may not be big on celebrities, but I knew that was wrong.
Yes. That is
No,
funny.
I knew that was I knew that was off. That's fine.
But
Okay, no,
yeah.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, I never I'm always one to like I'll look at like the highlights and stuff like that, but I can't remember the last time I sat down to watch an award show.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah,
a very long time.
and they're
Some
very, very
years.
scripted now too, right? So it's like
Yeah.
the jokes are either hit or miss or somebody gets offended. It's just
Well, they
like,
usually
okay.
miss, and then there's a lot of like, virtue signaling, and then they take forever. I just, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, just
Just
let
look
me
at
know
the
who won.
finalists.
Yeah. Well,
Let's get. I do want to take a moment. Let's get some serious shit out the way,
okay.
and and give our condolences, our thoughts and prayers to the people in New Orleans.
Yes. That's
And
crazy.
in the horrible attacks over this weekend, or this weekend, but this a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I it's horrible. I hate these. It's I tell people all the time, extremism is awful, no matter what it's attached to, and and that doesn't matter whether it's religious, political, um, like whatever. Like extremism is a problem,
Yeah.
and I just, I don't, I fear that everything is becoming so polarized that is there a chance that society will move to everybody sits in their corner in their own extremes, and that's scary to me because that seems like it's going to be fraught with violence. And I just hope that people take a moment in times like this and just reflect on what's important to them and try to start seeing the humanity in everybody, even if they are different from you in whether it be race, religion, creed, color, sex,
Yeah.
belief, kink, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's
Um,
crazy. Did you get to check in on Glenn?
I did
Everything?
check in on Glenn, and he
Okay.
said that he's fine. He said that he was down there, but he said he left about an hour before he went down.
Oh man, that's
And he
crazy.
said that he didn't know nobody that he's connected to that he knows
Okay.
of thus far was injured or anything like that. So, um, but yeah, so um, yeah, my thoughts and appearance. But or I lived in Orlando during the Falls Massacre,
Mm-hmm.
and I personally knew two people that were in that shooting. They weren't particularly good friends of mine. I didn't know them well, but they're
Right.
people who I definitely know and I'd seen and hung out with and like spoken to on a number of occasions. So that one was really hard, and so unfortunately, I feel connected to these things when they happen for that reason. Haven't been so close to one and been through the process of a city, grieving through that and picking up the pieces and whatnot. It's a horrible experience. It can be it's horrible and remarkable at the same
Mhm.
time. Because you do see within the city, you will see um, that humanity that you wished was all the time.
Yeah. Not when a
But
tragedy happens. Yeah.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Crazy, crazy.
hmm
Well.
but anywho, now back to so the truth fairy is going to speak because we do this show for joy and
Hmm.
levity and whatnot. And it's a gay show, so if you don't know what I'm about to talk about first, then you probably just you tripping. So obviously, I'm going to talk about the Beyonce ball,
Literally.
the Beyonce ball.
Yes.
Clearly, I mean, technically, I could do this whole show on that, but I know that might get tedious to some people. So I'm just going to do that. But I want to address something first because it was funny. Remember how I said? Remember when they first announced this, and
Hmm.
I said on the show, "This is why the NFL is king."
Yeah,
Like, this is fucking genius what
it
they're doing.
was.
LeBron James made some comments about it because I was like, you know what? I give him credit because I know LeBron James is very smart, so he saw the same thing that I did. Now,
Okay.
his attempt to address it failed. But
What did he say? I think I missed this.
so they did they did, I told you, you remember, like, because historically, basketball, like Christmas Day is usually basketball's time. And
Right.
that's when they schedule all their big games, which they did because nobody gave a fuck because everybody was waiting for Beyonce, including myself. So,
Exactly.
and so the Lakers played, and I can't even tell you right now. So there you go. But the Lakers, it was a good game from what I recall, but from the highlights. And afterwards, LeBron James was saying, "Yeah, this is what the NBA is all about. This is a great game. This and that. I love the NFL and whatnot, but Christmas is our day. This is about the NBA. This and that. Blah blah blah." I said, LeBron,
Mm,
LeBron, hey girl, have a seat on this one.
exactly. Let this one
But
go.
like, I understand your sentiment because you are in the NBA, but the child, you are dead wrong with this. And let me count the ways why.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, I don't even remember them playing. Like literally, that's crazy.
Nobody watched that. Nobody watched that.
Yeah.
Everybody, you, you want to know how I know? Netflix topped out the streamers 65 million people for that game to watch Beyonce.
Exactly.
65 million people
streamed in. But you know what happened
Yes.
when it was over? It was probably 22 minutes.
They don't care.
Everybody dropped off.
They already got the bag.
Yes.
They don't care. Do you know how much money all the commercials leading up to that? And
Yeah.
They don't care. That's all they need you to do is it's the same thing with the Super Bowl. They don't care.
Mhm. Yeah. It's like as long as you get those initial views and yep.
Yeah, all they need you is to see those certain bit of commercials. They get their money for it. It's
Keep it
ridiculous.
moving.
65 million people.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for that game. Just to give you some comparisons to understand the significance of that.
Okay.
The NBA Finals this past year with Boston,
Mm-hmm.
and they average per game 11.3 million people.
This was the finals?
The finals.
Oh, so yeah, they wiped them out.
Yeah,
Wiped them out.
Yeah. The World Series this past year with the Los Angeles Dodgers versus the New York Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
Two biggest cities in the country. Historical franchises. History. Pomp and circumstances. All that. Blah, blah, blah. Average 15.8 million viewers a game.
Once again, you add them up together. Does not That's crazy. And then not only that, but Netflix is, subscription based. So people were paying to see this shit too.
Boom. And that right there is what I was gonna get at. Like that's what I was yeah. And this is people you have to purposely go and find this. Like this isn't like, click, like I'm on channel 2.
Right, exactly. I'm pretty sure the bars had to log into people's Netflix and stuff because they don't usually show games on Netflix. So
and so I was down in Daytona.
Okay.
And we went to 3 different places. None of them had the capability to do it. So people literally had to go and find this, or they just set their asses at home. We finally found a place that had it. But yeah, we went to 3 different places and they did not have it on it.
See? Tell you. That's crazy. That's high. That's demand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I don't think it's demand. I think it's poor planning on their part. But
they should have known. People want to watch this. Yeah, they didn't have it ready.
I had all kinds of specials. But no, they whatever. So anyway, any thoughts on the performance?
I had to watch it a couple times, right? Because initially I was just locked in on her, but then I had to go back and see them standing on the horses, the white horses in the background, and then the old school classics, and then not only that, but Blue Ivy's ass was there the whole time. I didn't even peep that.
I didn't peep that either. I didn't peep that either to Kenesha because I watched it a couple of times, and Kenesha told me, I was like, wait, man, I have to go back and watch it again. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that little bitch been there the whole time.
But no, it was amazing. I mean, I expected nothing less. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the fact that she just ended out with a bang, and she was like, bang. And I was like,
it was phenomenal. It was every bit of a Super Bowl caliber performance, which again, it's Beyonce, so you would expect the fact that she had the whole Texas Southern University marching band out there. That was cute. I enjoyed the how she incorporated their drum majors and all that stuff. I've never said this before, and I'm not proud of this.
Oh
I'm gonna
God.
admit that. But I'm vulnerable on this show, and so I'm just gonna keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. For a hot second, I thought Post Malone was sexy.
I knew that was where you're gonna go with it. It had to be the Levi jeans.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I was like, he just had this kind of like sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Is Post
He,
Malone sexy?
I feel like he can turn it on and turn it off because most days he's
Maybe
not.
that's what it is. Because usually he don't look like he bathed. You know,
Yeah,
like
usually not your type.
yeah, not at all, not at all, not at all.
All
But I
right.
definitely had a moment. I was like,
Like,
this
ooh.
drink down.
No, they're like, if you're gonna be next to Beyonce, we're gonna have to straighten you up a little bit. You know what I mean? So yeah.
She said, "If you're gonna be with me."
But yeah, no, you definitely did a double take. I was like, that's Post Malone.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
no, and the same thing. It took me a second too. That's like, oh, he cleans up pretty nicely. Like, that's cool. I love the choreography, especially when they did Texas Hold'em. Um,
Yes.
I thought all of that was really amazing. The little promenade, the parade that she did,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was super cute.
Yes.
And apparently, like the girl that she had in the car behind her, apparently it was like the first black rodeo something queen or something in
Mm-hmm.
Texas. It was a very significant thing to have her there. I read about it. There's a lot of homages that she put in there that you
Mm-hmm.
apparently that unless you're like from Texas, you didn't catch.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
but yeah, absolutely phenomenal performance. Like, of course, it's Beyonce. You can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well, Kendrick gonna
Um,
have to step it up for the Super Bowl.
it's again, Kendrick has had a monster year. He just released this ridiculous album. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
be huge. It's going to be
Yeah.
huge. And I'm
Yeah.
curious to see, like I said, now I predict this and I said this, remember when we talked about it when they first announced the Beyonce thing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very curious if they do this again next year. If they go find who's the big artist, who's like
Yep.
somebody else. And they have two of these a year.
Yep.
Insane, but genius.
Yeah.
Absolute genius.
Yep. NFL's on
Absolute
it.
genius. They already own Thanksgiving, so they know they got that. They don't even try. But did you see Shabuzi performed? I think Shabuzi did that Thanksgiving performance. He did. Shabuzi did
Mm-hmm.
the performance of Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they already own that. Like that's the reason why NFL is taking.
Yep. Yep. And will continue to be. Like, NBA might have some rappers that come on halftime. Like
They don't even do like I think I've seen them like I think they don't advertise anything. Nothing I know. I've never heard of so and so is performing X, Y, Z in dealing with the NBA.
Yeah.
Anytime
Yeah.
I've enjoyed an NBA performance, it's just so and so's here.
Yeah, like, oh, what a surprise.
Yeah, it's like, oh, great. Okay, cool, cute.
Like, oh,
I think I
Jeezy's
saw.
coming out.
Yeah, I think I saw Nicki Minaj doing one of their like their All-Star games or something like that. But
Mm. Well, listen,
yeah,
they got to stick to what they're good at,
I
which is not
guess. I mean,
much. Yeah.
you stop hating, but I'm like, when you said that, I was like,
What is it?
I mean, obviously basketball, but
Other than that, yep,
okay, all
nothing.
right, well, good luck to you. Uh, well, I mean, we'll start talking about basketball once football's done.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they just make peace with that and just like try to run it up on it. That's what college basketball does. Like, they know
Mm-hmm.
nobody's paying attention to college basketball until March.
Exactly. Yep.
So, if you get one good month, so you got to strike while the iron's hot. They do. Seriously, that's
Yeah.
the whole March Madness thing. They know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anywho, so
Speaking of college, yep.
speaking of college, yes, because we're like knee deep in the college football like era, and it's been I've got mixed feelings about it. I've found that the lead up to it, like the season, the drama, and all that stuff leading up to it, and the selection and whatnot, was far more interesting than what the tournament itself has been.
Right.
And I think they're going to have to address the seating, maybe, or there's no reason that Boise State in Arizona State should have got buys. Like they just shouldn't have. Yeah, so I mean, because like in the first round was just a bunch of blowouts. It just hasn't been all that interesting. But I think the thing that is most striking to me is I think that dominance of the SEC is far gone and over. And that's a lot coming from me because I'm Alabama and SEC fan. Yeah. Side note, they got their asses handed to them by Michigan in a completely non-consequential bowl, and they had their starting quarterback playing. Jalen Milroe, like, I don't. I feel bad for cursing that little boy out because at the end of the day, like he is young, but also he sucks.
Yeah,
like he sucks really badly. And anybody that drafts him, you a damn fool. And I said it, put it on the record.
Okay. Oh man, is he looking to get drafted anytime soon, or is it just
only because NFL teams are thirsty for quarterbacks? It's a very weak draft for the position. There is a chance that he might get drafted, and I hate it for the team that does it. Unless they just make him like turn into a running back / like cause they do a Taysom Hill in New Orleans. He can maybe do that, but other than that, he's not. He's nowhere near. He's barely a college quarterback. He's certainly not an NFL quarterback. But anywho, I went off tangent. No, that SEC dominance of old that we were used to, it doesn't exist and it won't exist anymore. Not that I don't think it will. With the exception of Texas, and I'll explain why I say that in a bit. But because of the transfer portal, in the past, for example, Alabama could recruit 3 or 4, 5-star players for, say, defensive line, like defensive tackle. And those defensive tackles would know. It's like, okay, well, I'll stay around, get coached up, blah, 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 start my second, third, or fourth year. Get ready for the draft. Well, now with the transfer portal, they don't have to sit around and wait. So if they get there and they're like, okay, well, I'm not going to start, then they just go to another school. And on top of that, they get paid to do it.
Exactly.
So it's like, all right, how much? You want it? Okay, cool. Holla. And so there's no depth. And we're seeing that now. Because in the past, it was like somebody got hurt, next man up. And they had another 5-star athlete right behind them. That does not exist anymore.
Yeah, it was like a rotation.
Yeah, it used to be. And now it's like a huge precipitous fall. If the first man goes down, that's it. Because these guys aren't sticking around anymore. And so, we look at, for example, Notre Dame last night against Georgia. And of course, Notre Dame won the game. But they just out physical them. And when's the last time can we say Notre Dame out physical an SEC team, let alone Georgia?
Exactly.
Like that defense was all over them, especially like in their backfield. That poor Stockton, I think his name is, or he's their second string quarterback for Georgia because their first string quarterback got injured. But that poor baby was running for his life. And Kirby Smart was making Kirby Smart made some questionable choices. He, especially in the first quarter, he was being very aggressive. But I think he knew. That he had to try to do something to make a splash because, frankly, Notre Dame just looked bigger, faster, and just better. Throughout the game. And I was not expecting that. But I think I should have. And this is one of the ways I was wrong. I told you about I was going to talk about. I had written off Notre Dame after they lost to Northern Illinois, like early in the season.
All right.
Because we talked about it.
Those little teams. Yeah, like what?
I was like, it was Northern Illinois. Like you tell me where Northern Illinois is. It's like they tell me what their mascot is. I'll wait.
Exactly. Yeah.
I had written them off, but I think that was a mistake on my part. There's also a flaw in the old college football system that we were used to, where if you lose one time in the early part of the season, you expect these kids to come to campus, get prepared, and be at the top of their game in the first couple weeks. And that's not really, that's not reasonable.
Right.
And so, yeah, they had a game. They got knocked off by this inferior team for whatever reason. Now they've had a whole season to kind of gel, fix the problems, connect the dots or whatnot. They look very formidable. And I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I mean, I'm picking them to be one of the teams to play for the college football championship, and I think it's very deserving. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But in the same vein, Ohio State demolished University of Tennessee, 42-17. Tennessee's been a tough team this year. Like very good. A lot of people picked them. I think I even said I saw them as a sleeper team for the championship.
I think
I'm pretty sure I did say that. Yeah. I did say that. Yeah, shut my fat ass up.
Oh man, they didn't came through. Jeez.
Yeah. And then they go this past week and beat the shit out of Oregon 42-21.
42 must be their number.
Apparently,
Jeez.
but they got it clicking on all cylinders right now, and that kind of brings me to actually, you know what? Yeah, that kind of brings me to what I was going to say as far as with the exception of Texas, as far as the end of this SEC dominance. So the new thing that's come into play, and Alabama is really in trouble, and I think they know that. And the reason why is because of all things, college football is going to, if it doesn't already, but this is going to become more and more pronounced as this system goes unregulated. Eventually, I think they will have to come up with some kind of regulations to rein it in. But until then, there are certain schools that are going to figure it out a lot quicker, and they have the resources to do it. College football used to be, recruiting. This is snap, blah, blah, blah. Now it's going to be, can you pay for it? Who can put together what they call the collective? Who has the money? Because Ohio State put together, I think it was like a $20 million war chest to pay for this team.
Oh, wow. Well.
So, remember I was talking about, you could recruit 3 or 4 5-star athletes. Now, you may be able to keep those athletes if you're willing to pay for all 3. So what's to stop a school like, for example, Texas, oil money, lots of money.
Yeah.
And just a couple of their billionaire donors get together and be like, I'd like to see them win a championship next year. You want to write a check? I'll write a check. You write a check? Cool. Boom. And they can pay for whatever they want. That's what it's going to start to look like. If it doesn't already, because if Ohio State wins it all, and it's very much looking like they can. Right. Well, I know they can. It very much looks like they will. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. But then you got the schools that possibly can't raise that type of money, and they're just sitting there like...
Bring in Alabama.
Oh, God.
That's what I meant. Alabama cannot raise that kind of money. They may have passion.
Right.
Their fans may love it. But it's still, at the end of the day,
Alabama. Where the coins at?
They've been real spoiled because we got Nick Saban, and he was the only one that you had to pay for. Now, you're in a different ballgame, and they know it. And the reason why I know that is because the chancellor sent out some kind of communication and whatnot, trying to encourage alumni to donate.
Oh no! Really?
Shit's about to get real, and they know it.
Oh, wow!
They know it.
Wow!
So it should be interesting. With the exception of certain, like a couple wild cards, there are exceptions to that. Is Colorado because of the star power of Deion Sanders. But then again, I don't know what his star power attracts and how that works. Because I've seen their recruiting has seeming to be going really well. And I can't imagine that their alumni. It's not a. It's never been a football powerhouse. I can't imagine they have like deep pockets willing to give money for that. But I could completely be wrong. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, they got to tell me. So
we'll just see the outcome here shortly. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens.
Well, we got Notre Dame versus Penn State coming up for the semifinal.
Okay.
Penn State shouldn't even be there personally, and that's just me being petty. Like, they had a cakewalk to get there. If Notre Dame plays to the standard that they showed against Georgia, that's not even going to be a game like an interesting game.
And that's this weekend coming up.
Is it this weekend? I think so. I don't want to lie to you, so let me take a look.
Yeah, they be having college games back to back to back. So I was like, dang.
Well, we keep forgetting because technically these men are students.
Yes.
Oh, they have to go to class. Okay.
Exactly. What's it called? Work study or whatever.
Okay.
It is this weekend.
No, next weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, next Thursday and Friday.
Nice.
Yeah. So much for work study.
You know, just go up in there and be like, "You got the notes? Thank you. That's it."
I
Keep moving.
I used to tutor him. Now,
really?
I will say this. I can't speak for other schools, but I do know that Alabama actually was very big on it. Like, they actually didn't play around. And so, like, they had to be there. And they had to come ready to study, and they had to come ready to do those things. And they made sure that we weren't doing work for it.
Okay.
Like that. So I will say that. Like, that's the only school I can speak up on.
Right.
But yeah, I do know that Alabama didn't play that shit.
No.
But it's likely because they got busted too many times before. But
I was about to say, y'all gotta come out. You gotta come out of here with some grades. Like, you can't just.
yeah, exactly. Before we move on to some NFL, I do want to give a shout out to the Arizona State Sun Devils. They played their asses off, and frankly, should have beat the University of Texas to advance. They are not as talented. They obviously do not have the athletes and the resources and whatnot of the University of Texas. But God, them dudes came in prepared, and they left it all on the field. And they frankly, I think they got hosed off of a botched call, or no call, I should say, by the referees. There was in the fourth quarter there was a clear targeting. I mean, as clear as day, textbook targeting, and it didn't get called. And had it been called, more than likely Arizona State, at the very least, they had a shot to win that game. A very, very good. And so, what this guy, Cam Scatterboot, is his name. He's a running back for Arizona State.
Okay.
Boy played the game of his life to the point literally he is vomiting on the side of the field. Like, that's how hard he was playing.
Wow.
Like, muscly little, like, moose of a man.
He was getting it. He was like, listen. Wow.
Like, just nothing but legs and thighs and whatnot. It was hot. It was hot. I was like, okay. Like, literally the entire country fell in love with this boy. Because you could tell he played his ass off. And he did it with like it was a good game. By the time it started to get towards the fourth quarter, they had me rooting. Like, it was yeah. And I don't do underdogs. But for once I did.
Yeah. You don't really hear much about football in Arizona. So, like, for them to, come out and basically steal the show. Now, they didn't win the game, but, they stole the show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And like I said, in all honesty, like, they really, they got hosed by the refs. And I don't say that very often. But there couldn't have been a clearer call. But, such is life. It happens sometimes.
It does.
So let's move on. Let's talk about some NFL. I don't know if you've heard about the Vikings versus Lions this weekend. But this is like the biggest game, like regular season game I've seen in a extremely.
Oh,
And that
wow,
is
yeah.
because I believe both of the teams are 13 and 2. I want to say, yeah,
Okay.
both of them are 13 and 2. They're in the same division. So whoever loses the game, whoever wins the game will win the division. Whoever
Right.
loses will go into the playoffs at number 5. So it's a precipitous, like a
Yeah.
big drop.
Right.
Like it's big. And so that with that goes, like, you don't get home field advantage, all that stuff. I believe they would start off the playoffs against Tampa, assuming Tampa wins this week against the Saints. There's really
Right.
no reason they should. Um, so it's going to be really, really interesting. But the biggest story surrounding that game is the Vikings quarterback, Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam Darnold came out of USC some years ago, came out highly drafted, very talented guy. A lot of expectations. Everybody thought that there were some comparisons to Andrew Luck. I don't think that was appropriate, but he he
Like,
was, yeah, but he had all the intangibles. Everything looked like, okay, he's going to be one of the greats. So, and unfortunately, he got drafted by the New York Jets, and the Jets did what the New York Jets do. And he stuck around for a little bit, did some backup here and there, and he landed in this very, very good spot with the Vikings, and he's having a bit of a renaissance, to the point where I've heard some argue he should be included in the MVP talks. It's a remarkable second chance, and the only thing I can think of when I look at it is it's a reminder that context matters. And a lot of times, the where you get drafted, especially if you're a quarterback, that can make or break your career.
yeah.
Like it's, and we're seeing that with, like, for example, Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to break him. um, yeah, a lesser one, but I still think this falls into the category. In Cincinnati, my swag daddy.
I know you're talking about. I can't remember the name though.
I can't remember his last name because my cocktail is hitting me.
But
No,
Swag Daddy
swag daddy
nickname.
Joe Burrow. Oh yeah,
Oh
I don't
yes.
think I don't know if I officially did this, but for a long time in the show, swag daddy was Pat Riley down Wayne.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think that so I think I elevated him to Daddy Swag
Daddy Swag
Daddy.
Daddy. You get double daddies.
Yeah, Daddy Swag Daddy, because he is like 80 years old, but he
Oh
does.
well.
That man has so much swag. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
but Joe Burrow is Swag Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, even like he's willed that team to a Super Bowl once,
Mm-hmm.
and he's had an amazing year. It's just the ownership is awful. They're cheap. They do not support him. They're not going to play his best player now. And I truly think that they're wasting his talent. Anywho, Sam Darnold has landed with the Vikings, and I truly believe that they are Super Bowl contenders now, especially after watching them dismantle the Green Bay Packers. And I fear for the Lions because I want them, they're a feel-good story. The Lions have just had to lay in the squalor of destitute mediocrity for decades, for
Way too
so
long.
long. And you
Way too
just
long.
want it so
Mm-hmm.
bad for them. I do. I
Mm-hmm.
truly
Mm-hmm.
do. I'm not a fan of Jared Goff, but he is what they needed when they needed it, and that's fine. But they have been decimated by injuries on the defense, and I just don't see it for them.
Oh.
I think the Vikings are peaking at the right time, and I think they're going to win that game. I think that's the story of the game. I think the Detroit Lions injury is the story of the game. But it's going to be a big one. I think it's going to get a big for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, the fact that they've made it this far successfully is, I mean, it's still, I wouldn't say a win, but I mean, it's some in the right direction. You know what I mean? Because I can't tell you the last time I heard about the Lions for real, for real. Like,
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, if there's anything past the last 3 years, you haven't.
Yeah,
yes. No, it's unfortunately they're kind of in that territory now where their seasons are like a Super Bowl plus because they have that caliber of team.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the NFL tends to work that way. Is you have this window unless you're like Chiefs or the Patriots of last decade or whatnot, where you got to strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah.
It doesn't last. It just doesn't unless you have some masterful front office people and buy-in from certain players, mainly your quarterback. Because I just don't think that that's possible to continue a team with a dominant team like that season after season if your quarterback demands all of the money that they could get on the market, right, with the exception of Patrick Mahomes. But that is only because the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, arguably the best we've ever seen play the position. Andy Reid, one of the best one of the best head coaches to handle the job. They've got a great front office and they've got good ownership. So those things together, yeah,
this lines up perfectly. It makes it.
It just lines up. It makes it work.
Yeah.
But that's very few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
That shit don't happen often, and I don't. I mean, I can't. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time. Yeah.
Like, nope. Y'all ain't got it. They also played Christmas Day too. The Chiefs. I remember watching them because they had Mariah do like the opening singing song, and I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. Well, they just keep winning. Mm-hmm. They just keep winning. Like everybody keeps counting them out because this is not one of their stronger teams, and they've had some injuries too. But this is when the season everybody does. Mm-hmm. But they just keep winning, and they play amazing situational football. They're always ready for the moment. They don't make the mistake. They don't have the penalty. They don't drop the prospective interception. Mm-hmm. They do the opposite of what the Falcons did.
I knew that's where it was going. Because we both watched that game. Lord Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Like, somebody, if they have any way of getting this to Raheem Morris. Somebody. Anybody, anywhere. If within the sound of my voice, if you have a way of getting a message to Raheem Morris, tell him, Kenny Cantrell, even though I'm sure he doesn't care because he don't know who the fuck I am, I don't like you.
Plain and simple. Is that easy?
I don't like you. I've been questioning you for a long time now, and the horrible, inexcusable clock management they did at the end of that game when the Falcons absolutely had a chance to win it, inexcusable to me. Especially in a situation where they know if they win that game, that's the only way they stay in the driver's seat for making to the playoffs. And everybody universally chose them to win that division this year. So let me count the ways. You let Kirk Cousins stay in and lose 4 straight before you took his ass out. That's how you ended up in the spot in the first place.
Exactly.
Then there's been a number of games where I've watched where he should have went for on 4th down, and he didn't because he's horribly conservative because he's defensive minded. And the times that he did go for it is the times when he shouldn't. And he always picks bonehead, stupid ass plays. And of course, who wants to go for it on 4th down with Kirk Cousins? Because all they're going to do is blitz him, and he's going to shrink. Like, goddamn, I don't know. Let me think of something funny to say. I don't know. I don't know. I just fucking hate that man. But anyways, they get me worked up because they got my hopes up again, and I fell for that shit again.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
fell for it again. I'm like
There is.
waiting. I'm like the football equivalent of waiting to exhale. Like
You
I
just
do this.
one match away, burning
Do
that
this
shit.
shit every single time. I keep coming back to your dirty ass. Even though you don't do right, you don't do right. You don't take care of your kids. You don't pay any bills. You stay out all night. You don't come home. You got bitches calling my house and whatnot. But no, I come back to your ass every time, and that's what you do.
Mm-hmm. Thinking they gonna do better, but the same old shit, same
Same
old
old shit.
shit.
Same old shit. Same old. Same old. And
there's
here I
there's
am.
there's this thing on Instagram where the whole bar was like lit about the field goal kick that the Falcons are about to do, and then
Hmm.
realized it was missed. Oh, the whole bar was like, no, it was so
Oh
funny.
gosh. Oh god. You gotta send that to me. I didn't see that.
Yeah, that shit was so funny. I was just like, well, that's a Falcons fan for you.
That's it. In a nutshell. In a
Right.
nutshell. That is it. That is it. Yeah, like they got me buying paraphernalia. I have not bought paraphernalia for the Falcons until this season. This is the
Hmm.
first time I bought it since that fucking Super Bowl when they that with the 28 when they scored the 28-3 loss. I mean, lead. I haven't bought a goddamn thing from the Falcons since that. And they got me this year. And I'm like, you know what? So now I got to start a campaign. I got Kirk Cousins out of it. Now I got to start a campaign against Raheem Morris.
Yes. You got a couple more weeks left. We gonna see what we can do.
No, they don't. They got 1 week left, which is this weekend.
Oh, who do they play this weekend?
The Panthers. It don't matter because
Oh,
even if they win, it
it
don't
don't
matter.
matter.
Because even if they win, they need Tampa to lose, and Tampa's going
Oh,
to play the Saints, and the
yeah.
Saints are god awful right now. So it's like that was the significance of this game because had they
Right.
won that game, all they had to do was win this week, and they were in, and they
Yep.
win the division. Now they need the Tampa Bay to lose, and they need to win. And watch them go and lose this game this weekend. Watch.
Are
I'm
you
gonna
going to
record
this
something
game?
live at the. Yeah, I'm going to the game. I'm gonna
I was
record
about
something
to
live.
say.
I'm gonna be there. I'll make it a sign.
Yep. Like, oh, there he is. There's Kitty right there.
What happened with the clock, Raheem? I'm gonna do that shit. What happened with the clock, Raheem? What happened with the
Yep.
clock? What happened with the clock?
You probably get zoomed in on that one. They're gonna be like, "We
I
got
know. That's my
somebody."
plan. You know what? I can do that shit tomorrow. I'm gonna have Kenesha do the handwriting because my handwriting's awful. But
Well,
yeah.
I feel that, but yeah, that should be hilarious.
Anywho, got me fired. Got me up sweating this shit up in here. Good God, are. Anyways, yeah. So because that's that. Yeah. Real quickly, a couple of things. I will say that I will say the Commanders got something cooking. And so that division needs to be on the lookout because I think they're going to get better fast, especially while they have Jaden Daniels on a rookie contract. Jaden Daniels is really, really good. And I don't want to jinx him yet, but that's a special player that they have. If they can keep him healthy, they got some good things coming to them in Washington. And so good for them.
Okay.
Good for them.
Gotta keep an eye out on him.
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna be hearing a lot of it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna hear a lot of it. He's definitely yeah, you're gonna hear. Saquon Barkley, yes, I do think they should they should not play him this weekend. If you haven't heard, he's on the cusp. I think he's about 105 yards away from breaking the single season record for rushing yards, and season that's been held by Eric Dickerson for I think it's the oldest standing NFL record out there.
Oh.
And even though we play more games now, he did it in less carries than Eric Dickerson would have if he does it. But I don't think they should play him because I think if they have their eyes on the Super Bowl, this is the shit they did last year. And AJ Brown got hurt in the last game of the season, and he needed his ass, and they did not make it past the wall. So as much as I enjoy it, I get it. I know that you want to be in the record books and whatnot. Go sit your black ass down.
Right. You need to play this smart. Let's play this smart. We're trying to get somewhere.
Rings over records.
Yes.
That's what I said. Okay, so Uh, do we have any listener questions yet?
We do not, but I have some things
Okay.
I want to ask you. So I recently came across and I guess you kind of touched on this. So Black Monday for the NFL. Have you heard of this term, Black Monday?
Black Monday for the NFL. No, I'm not familiar.
No. So it's basically the Monday after I guess the playoffs start and they start firing all the
Oh yeah, they start firing the coaches. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I was like,
That's
what is
right.
Black
Yeah.
Monday?
Oh yeah, they start firing the coaches. It'd be like clockwork. Yeah.
Yes. I would be terrified if I was a head coach. Like, and Monday come rolling around and you like called up. So they like had a list of 7 coaches that should be worried,
Hey,
basically.
hey, 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 hey. If anybody within the sound of my voice can get this show to Arthur Blank, Black Monday, Black Coach.
Yes,
It fits.
it
Fire his
does.
ass. Fire Raheem Morris. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, so here's the 7 that are like on that should be worried. Doug Peterson from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, yeah, without question. He's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gone.
Shane Stitchen from the Colts.
Yeah, I can say that's
Okay.
it. Yeah,
Jared Mayo, New England Patriots.
yeah, he's gone. They're trying to get they're trying to get Vrabel. I can't remember his first name. Is it Mark? And, yeah, but Vrabel, they're trying to get him in, which I think would be a good pick. But yeah, he's out. Yeah.
Of course, your friend,
Eberflus,
no, Nick Sirianni, the
Sirianni. Oh,
Eagles. Sirianni.
see, that's the thing, though. That depends on how they do in the playoffs.
Mm.
If they make a long run, God forbid they make it to the Super Bowl, he's not going anywhere. But it
Hmm.
would be in spite of Nick Sirianni.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, they already fired Matt Eberflus. Never mind. Go ahead. Yeah.
And then the last one, it's not who you think. It's Mike McCarthy.
Oh no, that's the one I definitely think. First of all, he bamboozled their asses when they hired him in the first place. I've been saying that since the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I've been saying that from when they first hired him. I was like, ooh, that's not gonna work out. He's a yes man. And on top of that, he lied to your ass talking about he's about analytics and all that stuff, whatever. I seen him when he was coaching Green Bay. And he got that Super Bowl ring, but it's because he had Aaron Rodgers in his prime. So he's always had
Understood.
time management issues. Hence the reason why I say Raheem Morris has to go.
Mhm.
And yeah, I've never been a believer in him. He hasn't shown me anything to prove me otherwise. Um, the only question about that is,
Mhm.
fire Mike McCarthy, who's going to take the job in Dallas? Because nobody wants to coach for Jerry Jones.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Me,
And
girl.
it's going to sound horrible, and I don't mean it like this, but the man won't die. Like,
Mhm.
so, like, he's our modern day Al Davis. Like, he's fat shit. So, yeah. And he does a horrible job at it, and he won't let go of football operations and you know in team like in decisions with players and whatnot. And he's just done a horrible job. And they're going to be hurting for a long time, especially now that they've fallen into the Kirk Cousins trap, and they paid
Yep.
Dak Prescott all of that money, and now they got to pay. Everybody's pushing to pay Michael Parsons, and they want to pay CD Lamb. So the rest of that team is going to be like Midtown High School right down the street from it.
Hot mess. Oh my gosh. I did have one more this question. Did you see, speaking of the Detroit Lions, their kicker Jake Bates going viral for his like erotic stretching?
Yeah,
Like he
I'll
was on the
pursue.
field. Yeah. This look up Jake Bates. So let's go.
I was like, no, but I want to.
Yeah, really.
Okay, let's see here. Let's take a look at this. Let's see.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Isn't it?
It's his face. I'm like,
Yeah. That must have felt real good. I don't know what kind of stretcher he was at.
It's like, do you need a moment, boo?
Right. But not only that, who was the camera person? Because they was on it.
That is hilarious. Okay, that's funny.
Yeah. Too crazy. But yeah, so that's been going viral since the movie.
I love it. That was good. That was funny. All right. Well, I guess we know what his bedroom reminds look like.
Exactly. Probably even more intense than that. Can't even.
There is this quick side note.
Yep.
There's this journeyman backup quarterback. His name is Gardner Minshew. He did start for the Las Vegas Raiders this season. But rumor had it for a while because I think he got drafted by Jacksonville, and so he kind of had this moment in Jacksonville where people thought he was going to be a starter. But there was rumors going around that he had a proclivity for stretching in his jockstrap in the locker room.
There's nothing but the jockstrap.
Nothing but the jockstrap. Just stretching in his jockstrap. Which, I mean, to a man like me, I'm like, hey.
Right, do what you got to do. Listen.
OnlyFans? But that may make some people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But anywho, so what ended up happening was this porn site, X Hamster, offered him $1 million if he would do a jockstrap stretching session for their website.
Did he do it?
No, he did not do it.
Oh.
But yeah, I thought it was hilarious. I would have looked.
Yeah. Just a little free clip. Let me just see what's going on.
I would have looked. No, X Hamster is free. Like for the most part.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
I think it's like the same thing like Pornhub or one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But anywho, so that was fun. What do you look for this weekend?
Well, I've been off for 2 weeks, so I'm just trying to get my shit together to go back to work on Monday. So, but nothing too crazy. Might step out for like a show tomorrow. Have some friends that are doing like a pop-up show, but that's about it.
Okay.
What about yourself?
Honestly, a little bit of the same. I mean, like, well, tonight we're going to, and I think you're going, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to RuPaul Drag Race. If y'all didn't know, I am a super fan. And so they're doing a viewing party at a movie theater here in Midtown, for the season premiere of season 17.
Damn, is it that many already?
I think it's season 17. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a very interesting event. So that should be fun. And yeah, other than that, I'm gonna.
You got the game. I think. Don't you got the game on Sunday?
Yeah, but I'm not looking forward to that.
Well, I'm looking forward to the sign.
Yeah. Oh, okay. If I get the sign, then I'll be looking forward.
Okay. All right. Good.
Okay, I checked it. I'm looking forward to making the goddamn sign because you know what, Raheem Morris, get out.
Love it.
And then I will check out. I will obviously watch the Vikings online. I think most football fans are going to watch that. And other than that, I did get invited to a friend's birthday party on Saturday, so I may try to finish that. But just gotta try to clean up my house, work out, enjoy my single life a little bit by my damn self. No.
I got you.
No. The opposite of all that. No, like sitting up.
Staying to yourself, not in the streets.
Staying to myself. No, I'm not trying to be in these streets. Like, no. I'm all about peace this year.
That's awesome, Kitty. I'm glad.
Ecstasy, abundance, and bliss is what I'm looking for.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I guess I'll see you in a little bit since we're back.
Yeah. Well, I guess that brings us to the end of another fabulous episode. Of course, you can find us at Sports Talk with a Queer Twist at gmail.com. You can always find us as well on social media, Instagram, Sports Talk Queer Twist. Is it sports underscore
Queer Twist?
Yeah, sports underscore talk underscore queer underscore twist. It should come up.
Yeah.
Sports
you get
Talk
the
Queer
gist.
Twist. Yeah, check us out. Friends. Obviously, check out the YouTube channel if you like to see my beautiful face, although I'm looking a little haggard right now, but that's fine.
We make it for it with good lighting. You know what I mean? Listen.
Boom, get into it.
Love it.
Other than that, yeah, Happy New Year, and I wish everyone within the sound of my voice, as I said before, I wish this for everybody for this year. Ecstasy, abundance, and bliss, peace. And remember, as always, as I tell you each and every episode, sports is for everyone, including you. Good night.